November Playboy Playmate Pia Reyes. Watch motorcycle stunts in the awesome Globe of Death. See the dragster that John Garlits crashed at 270 miles an hour.
The Exorcist is already one of the highest grossing films in the history of motion pictures.
Most people think horror means monsters, fangs, pale skin, twisted faces, jump scares, and they are not wrong. But fear didn't begin with movies, or the folk stories our grandmothers used to tell us at night. It began much earlier than we like to remember. You see, we are not born as predators. We had no claws, no thick skin, no venom, no night vision. For most of our existence, we were fragile, watched, hunted, exposed. Our only advantage was intelligence, the thing that slowly turned us from prey into something else. And fear was preserved, not as entertainment, but as a survival tool. Over time, we wrapped that fear in stories, gods and demons, good and evil, rituals and beliefs. Modern horror sells it cheap, loud, safe, disposable. You can't even think twice after film ends. But some films return into something older, a primal horror, the kind that feels more disturbing because it suggests someone might be watching or hidden just out of sight. A fear rooted in ancient memory of predators that didn't announce themselves, that struck in silence. These are horror films that stayed with me long after credit rolled. When a group of explorers descend into the catacombs beneath Paris, they uncover a secret buried deep within the city of the dead. It's not a perfect film. What stayed with me wasn't the story so much as the feeling of moving deeper alongside the characters. The sense that every step forward carried a quiet loss. The further they go, the more the world seems to drain of warmth, turning grey and indifferent, almost as if the place itself is consuming them little by little. I ended up watching it twice within a few months, not because it was flawless, but because the atmosphere lingered longer than I expected. About the mythology of this movie draws heavily from the themes of alchemy and Dante's Inferno, immersing both the characters and the audience in a purgatory-like state. It blurs the lines between the reality and illusion, leaving us questioning what is truly real.
It's smiling at me.
After witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving a patient, a psychiatrist becomes increasingly convinced that she is being threatened by an uncanny entity, adding a layer of psychological tension to the horror. The uncanny nature of this entity left me sleepless for a while. Even though the movie doesn't provide a logical explanation for its origin, while the jump scares were typical, but it do carries the slow burn that deliver pure intensity and climax. About the theory of this movie, one way to read the entity in the smile is not as a demon, but as a coping mechanism that turns predatory when the mind encounters a form of death it cannot process. The danger is not dying, it's being exposed to trauma that refuses to settle. forcing the psyche into repetition. The same logic appears in Junji Ito's Uzumaki, where perception collapses around a pattern, and in Jacob's Ladder, where hell is unresolved trauma looping endlessly. In reality, intrusive replay and dissociation are not signs of madness, but of a system trying to stay functional, like a broken machine repeating its last command. The horror here isn't evil, it's failure without feedback. A caving expedition goes horribly wrong as the explorers become trapped and ultimately pursued by a strange breed of predators. The descent delivers a truly terrifying experience, blending claustrophobia, isolation, and a primal fear into a uniquely unsettling atmosphere. The chilling tension and an ambiguous ending make it unforgettable. I truly enjoyed watching the UK version of this movie because its ending is actually dark and dusty. An investigation into a government cover-up leads to a network of abandoned train tunnels deep beneath the heart of Sydney. As a journalist of a crew and hunt for the story, it quickly becomes clear the story is hunting them. The Tunnel is an Australian found footage film that blends the eerie atmosphere of As Above So Below with the tension of the descent and the style of grave encounters. While not packed with scares, the one it delivers are highly effective. If you enjoy those films, this is a solid combination of their vibes in the found footage of horror genre.
Did you hear that?
There is a strong chance filmmakers were inspired by the theory linking the creature to the mythological bunyip, a water-dwelling predator in Australian lore known for luring and drowning its victims. Though not typically humanoid, the bunyip's ever-shifting appearance, from something resembling a leopard seal to a skinwalker, which opens the door for a humanoid form, its true shape, much like the legend itself, remains elusive. A research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. John Carpenter's The Thing, 1982, is the pinnacle of Lovecraftian horror, an unsettling blend of paranoia, dread, and hopelessness. Far beyond its ironical tentacles and slime, the film's genius lies in its bleak, ambiguous ending and the savage unraveling of trust among the crew. Set in a desolate landscape with a minimalist, chilling score, Troop leaving viewers questioning humanity's fragility and the haunting mystery of the imposter among the crew remain unparalleled. John Carpenter's The Thing traces its root to John W. Campbell Jr.'s novella Who Goes There, now revealed to have a longer unpublished version titled Frozen Hell. Alec Newella Lee notes that Campbell drew inspirations from explorer Richard Bard and H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountain of Madness. This rediscovered manuscript, blending science fiction and horror, offers a richer take on the story that inspired a horror classic.